Julius Malema really wants foreigners to come and stay here, ne? He really loves them. I love them too, but they should come here legally, that's all. With Malema, he simply wants an open border policy. Instead of talking about the many issues that are affecting the people of South Africa, he chooses to talk about his own issues. Welcome to Citizen Concerned, where we remind you to beware of the comrades. Citizens do not want too many foreigners in South Africa because we do not have enough jobs for everyone in Africa. People do not want illegal foreigners in South Africa because we are fighting for the few resources that we still have left in South Africa. Look at the rentals in Johannesburg, Hillbrow, Rosettenville, Yeoville, and Turffontein. They are very much unaffordable for most of the poor people in South Africa. This is why you see informal settlements everywhere. We are overcrowded in CBDs. The overcrowding also affects the integrity of the infrastructure. Many illegal foreigners are in our public institutions competing for the services that were not meant for them. The hospitals come to mind. Anyway, here is Julius talking about his beloved illegal foreigners and making excuses why foreigners should be allowed here open border style.
Tell me of a country that is rich because of borders. Or no, that country is very successful. It's a world-class country because of a fence. They've got a fence, and a fence led to success.
Julius, you don't seem to comprehend what is the issue. Your job in Parliament is not at risk. You are safe. You will still get over R1 million a year in salary and benefits. No one said that countries with safe borders are rich. No one said if you close your borders, you become rich. The issue of borders is very simple. If you open borders, people will enter the country. I mean, they're entering even when the borders are closed. So what more when the borders are wide open? What's worse is that you do not have control over the type of people entering. Criminals will enter the country. Low-skilled people will enter the country. All countries on earth have limited resources, Julius Malema. That is why you see that the government must work with a specific limited budget. That budget is supposed to meet the needs of the people of that country. That budget is supposed to make sure that all public services are provided to the satisfaction of the citizens and the foreigners. South Africa does not have enough hospitals because hospitals are becoming overcrowded. South Africa does not have enough schools. Schools are becoming overcrowded. In all these facilities, the country is having to provide for legal and illegal foreigners as well.
You speak Shona, and then how do you find yourself in Villa and Malala when you are supposed to be with Munangago there? You know he doesn't give me money to operate you guys, and I'm operating with my limited budget.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
well, you can't appreciate that. You're killing my health system. You are killing my health system. When you guys are sick, I'm hearing these days, you just say, let's cross Limpopo River. There's an MEC there who's running charity department. It's not. And I'm going to tell you something that is truthful and painful. You know, Stats SA goes and count people during the census and tell me that in Limpopo we have got 5.7 million people. And tell me out of that 5.7 million, 91% do not have medical aid. They are dependent on the state. 9% they will say has got medical aid. They depend on private hospital. And then they go and give National Treasury. When National Treasury allocates its budget, they said Limpopo has got 5.7 million people, and they subtract the 7%, 9%, and they give me the budget of the 91 to do all these operations. Now, I am here, instead of using the budget for what it's meant for, I'm operating for what Mnangagwa is supposed to do. And that is why when my people of Limpopo want health services, they can't get. And that is angering the community. Because you are coming here to, I was in George Marcel. We are busy operating Mozambican national everywhere. And you are not even registered anywhere. You are not counted. You are even illegal.
Think about this, Julius. Those millions you earn in your home are enough for you and your family, right? What if we tell you to bring your neighbors and their children into your home to be taken care of by your resources? Let's put a bunch of poor people, let's say all the people around Alex who stay near you, to come inside your mansion and see how you like it. At the end of the day, those millions will not be enough to send your son to those fancy private schools anymore, to wear your fancy clothes and enjoy your fancy dining. Basically, when resources are shared among too many people, the quality of life for those people becomes poor. I don't understand why you have to act so dull and mislead our people just to get a vote. Julius goes on.
Yeah. America has got no fence. 54 states under one president, United States of America. Why are they not putting fence for themselves? Why is Europe not putting fence? If fence is a prerequisite for success, for a country to prosper, you need a fence.
Here again, Julius Malema is lying. The United States of America is one country. It's not a continent. It's not like Africa where you have Nigeria and you have Namibia. No, America is one country with what you correctly called states. Those states are what we call provinces here in South Africa. Do we have borders between our provinces? No, we don't. They are called states because hundreds of years ago they were self-governing. Right now, those states are simply provinces. The name states does not really matter because at the end of the day, America is one country. Hence, they do not need to have borders between their states, between their provinces. South Africa is exactly like the United States of America. South Africa could have done the same thing that America did and name itself the United States or the United Provinces of South Africa. How many times did the Afrikaner-speaking people run away from the British to create their own states? Before this country that we call the Republic of South Africa was called the Republic of South Africa, it was actually known by another name. What was that name? It was once called the Union of South Africa. So we are a United States of South Africa as we stand now. The only problem with you, Julius, is that you have imperial aspirations. You want to rule Africa before we even fix this United States of South Africa. Many of the provinces we see in South Africa today were actually their own countries once upon a time. And before that time, Shaka Zulu also united different tribes, aka nations, into one nation. So please don't come here with these lies. This America you want to lie to us about is suffering today because of immigration right now.
Several U.S. border entry points in Mexico are now back to normal operations. This after large crowds tried to make entry all at once on Sunday, causing disruptions at least 3 different border points. But
illegal migrants are flooding America as we speak. Americans are complaining over and over again, and the communists in America are not listening to their people.
We have this international crisis that really requires federal intervention that local government is being asked to subsidize. Local government is not designed or built to handle such a crisis.
Definitely both a humanitarian crisis for the migrants that are arriving, and it is creating a fiscal crisis for the city.
I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
The present migrant crisis is quite unprecedented, both in scale, in the diversity of the nationalities that are coming to the border, and the impact it's having not only on the border states, but in the states and cities inside the country.
Why do you think Donald Trump is very popular in America? He campaigned on building a border wall with Mexico.
We're going to have strong, incredible borders, and people are going to come into our country, but they're going to come into our country legally. They're going to come in legally. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be built.
Mexicans and many other people from all over the world are entering America illegally simply because the leftists in America are allowing people through the borders. Those illegal immigrants are taking up jobs in America. Those illegal immigrants are getting social welfare in America. American citizens are suffering while illegal immigrants are getting SASA money over there.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
America is getting flooded by illegal Mexicans, Cubans, Venezuelans, and people from all over the world. Notice that most of the illegal migrants flooding there are running from countries that were or are communist, which should further inform us that communism is not good for the citizens, only for the leaders. Americans, just like South Africans, are not happy about the uncontrolled influx of illegal foreigners into their nation.
Emotional outbursts, at times so heated, police had to step in. We're talking about City Council today and a vote to spend $51 million on helping migrants here in Chicago.
As Black people who have been hurt continuously by the city and country it loves, it ain't our responsibility to take care of everybody else.
Many in Chicago's Black community and the City Council speaking out against spending $51 million to house migrants, asking when will the help for them finally become a reality.
And it cannot be put on the backs of the residents of Chicago without showing them that they're getting something out of this.
So the growing economic impact of Biden's border crisis. A new report from the Center for Immigration Studies show nearly 3 in 5 illegal immigrants households are on taxpayer-funded welfare support. Steve Camarada is the research director at the Center for Immigration Studies, and he joins us now. So 60% of the folks that are coming here illegally are being supported by the taxpayer. So what happened to all of these folks saying?
Julius Malema is pushing a globalism agenda. This is why people that want socialism or communism should not be allowed to run the country, guys. They are careless with our money and they want to remove borders and allow everyone into our country, which leads to a range of problems for the citizens and the country.
And even if you need a fence, there is no fence between Zimbabwe and South Africa. Mackenzie went, he showed you, there's no fence. There's no fence in Lesotho. Actually, he thought he was exposing that these people have got no fence. We've been I said that long time ago. I said, you are acting like mad people. You have a gate, but you don't have a fence. And then you come back at your house without a fence. You open a gate to enter your yard. Doesn't make sense. There is no fence. Africans have moved.
Julius, the fact that there is no fence is a reason why we need to remove the ANC from power. The fact that there is no fence is one of the reasons why we are struggling with human trafficking and smuggling in South Africa. The fact that there is no fence is the same reason why we have so many undocumented foreigners in South Africa. By removing the ANC, we should not vote for you because you intend to invite even more foreigners here.
You are saying that the borders must be open enough for Africans to unite.
You can't be legal in Africa as African. Because if you follow that, all of us in this room will be in danger. Our roots come from there in the continent.
This is where we can clearly see that Malema behaves like a child. Asia is one continent, but South Korea does not get along with North Korea. There is no free movement of people there, even though they are on the same continent. North America is one continent with 23 countries, including the United States, Canada, Mexico, Greenland, Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, and many other various countries. But they don't stand there and say that you can just enter any of our countries because we are in the same continent. They don't do that. Europe has 44 countries, and yet only 27 are members of the European Union. Switzerland is a very well-known and successful country on its own. It is not in the European Union. Norway is a successful country on its own, and it is not in the European Union. The UK recently left the European Union. So please just relax. Stop with the lies. Stop with the lies. In the same interview, we see that Julius said this.
They said they are going to nationalize the banks. They are going to nationalize the mines. We said, this is our nationalization. We establish a state-owned mining company that is going to compete with the private sector. This is our nationalization of the banks. We establish a state-owned bank to compete with the commercial banks.
Julius Malema continues to tell people that when he said nationalization, he actually meant establishment. This guy. Is Malema really abandoning the so-called cardinal pillar too, or is he just saying it for votes? We know that the manifesto still says nationalization, so it is definitely a thing. Anyway, we already covered that topic last week on the 4th of April. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Share it with other citizens. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.